Yes, sir, man. It's your guy back at it. Coming at y'all real quick with some speaker wiring and ohmage information. The quickest and easiest way to get your exact readings is to get one of these multimeter. And for this purpose, we got the extremely cheap Harbor Freight multimeter. Alright, so what we got, let's see, two 4-ohm speakers. Alright. The question I got was on 4-ohm speakers. So, the person had 4-ohm speakers with a 2-channel bridgeable amplifier. Okay, so we all know that for the vast majority of the 2-channel bridgeable amplifiers are 2 ohms at 2 channels stereo, or you bridge them mono to 1 channel and they're 4 ohm stable. So, for the example, that's what we're going to use. Okay, say we don't have 4 identical speakers, but we got 2. So this will work for the demonstration. What we do for these 2, you'll just duplicate it with your 4. Okay, so to get the most out of our amp, we need to get our speakers wired at 4 ohms, because that's the minimal load for a 2-channel bridgeable amplifier to put out the most power. Okay, so 4 ohm speakers. Easiest way to tell is the speakers got it marked on there, but if not, multimeter. That's your ohm sign. Switch to ohms. Lowest rating 200. Ohm. I know a lot of people say the cheap multimeters don't read accurate, but the way you get an accurate number is positive, negative. Yeah. Touch those together. Give it a second. Okay. So it's at 0.4. So whatever reading we get on the speakers, we'll subtract 0.4, and that'll be our ohm rating. Okay. Okay. Minus 4, 3.3. Okay. So for the wiring part of it, it's simple. If you wire these positive to positive and negative to negative, what that's going to do is bring the total ohmage between the 2 speakers down to half. It literally splits it in half. That's not what we want to do, because if we split a 4 ohm speaker in half, that's 2 ohms. And if you split it again, add another 2, that'll bring it down to 1 ohm. Speaker's not 1 ohm stable. So we want to do is take the 4 ohms between the two and bring the ohmage up to 8 ohms. And how we do that is you go from positive on one speaker to the negative of the other speaker. Now, instead of having 2 positive outputs and 2 negative outputs, you got 1 positive on this speaker. They're linked together, and you got a negative on that speaker. So, positive on that side, negative on that side. We've doubled the ohmage. So, what you would do, take your positive speaker wire to the open plus side, of this speaker, and it takes the negative and connect it to this speaker. Okay. So he took 2 speakers with 4 outputs and brought it down to 2. He took the negative from this speaker, connected to the positive of this speaker. And we've took the positive output on this speaker, connected to our wire, and the negative output on this speaker and connected to our wire. Now, at these wires, if I can get that on there, doing this all with one hand. Okay. And our positive. Okay. So, like I say, right there, we back up at 8 ohms. Just rounding off because we got 2 4-ohm speakers. When you hook them in series together, the ohmage doubles. So essentially that'd be 8 ohms. Now, you get your other pair, your other 2, because you said we had 4. So this is 2 of them. You get the other 2, and you do the same thing. And you get your wires from the wires that you got left over from those two, hook them positive to positive, negative to negative. It'll cut that in half, and you'll be back down to 4 ohms total, which is right where we needed to be. So, one more time, simplified version, real short and sweet. Positive, negative, positive, negative. Linked together from this negative to this positive. Now, that makes this your positive and this your negative as a 2-speaker total. Okay? Positive is represented by the copper wire. Negative represented by the silver wire. Repeat this with the other pair. Then hook positive on this pair, positive on the other pair. Negative on this pair to the negative on the other pair, and that'll be hooked to your amp for a final load of 4 ohms. Yes, sir, man, it's your guy, and we out of there.